The White House official says President Trump is meeting with his cabinet and Elon Musk today. Meanwhile, the legal fight over the deportation of hundreds of Venezuelans heads to court. Now the president is announcing secondary tariffs on Venezuela, accusing the country of sending, quote, tens of thousands of high-level murderers and other violent criminals to the U.S. Let's bring in White House correspondent Karen Travers for more. Karen, what's the latest on this cabinet meeting?
The White House says that the president is convening his cabinet to just get a check-in from all of the departments and agencies. Obviously, a lot of work is happening at these departments, a lot of DOGE work, and that is why Elon Musk is going to be a part of this today. But a White House official says there is not one set topic that is the focus of today's meeting. We're waiting to see if the press will be let into this, as did happen in the first cabinet meeting that the president held, and we're told that will likely happen. And then, of course, I think you can expect the president to take some questions. But again, notable that Elon Musk will be a part of this meeting. He is not an official cabinet secretary, not Senate confirmed, but it shows the significant, perhaps outsized influence he has right now in enacting the president's agenda.
Karen, President Trump also announced on social media any country that purchases oil and gas from Venezuela will be forced to pay a tariff of 25% to the United States on any trade they do with the U.S. So what's behind these new tariffs and what's the potential impact?
The president says in his social media post that Venezuela has been very hostile to the United States. He says that this country has purposefully and deceitfully sent to the United States tens of thousands of criminals. So this is his way of getting back at Venezuela and trying to target their oil and gas business. Now, what he's looking to do here is putting a tariff on the countries that import oil and gas from Venezuela. He will then put a tariff on the things that come into the United States from those countries, a secondary tariff. Diane, this would go into effect on April 2nd, and that is a very big day. Circle it on your tariff calendar. We're going to be talking a lot about tariffs in the lead up to April 2nd because they're going to go into effect on countries all around the world. Waiting to see now how much more it will be in addition to this, but this is a big deal potentially to China, which is a big importer of Venezuelan oil and gas. We should also note that the United States also brings in oil and gas from Venezuela. Last year, it was about $5.6 billion from Venezuela, about 3% of what the United States brings in from overseas.
And Karen, the D.C. Circuit Appeals Court is set to hear arguments today over the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act in those Venezuelan deportations. What are you watching for there?
We're looking to see the argument that the administration is making today. This D.C. Federal Appeals Court today is going to hear arguments for the first time about the administration using the Alien Enemies Act to deport more than 200 Venezuelan migrants. And the president, of course, over the weekend had been really ramping up his attacks on that federal judge that had been overseeing this case. He has called for the judge's impeachment. Now, this court would be the last step before getting to the Supreme Court. So that is something significant just to keep an eye on today about the process of this. But Diane, the question that's at the heart of this case is the authority of the president here. And I asked him that on Friday, of whether he thinks he has the authority to round people up, deport them, and then not show evidence to the court that they are requesting. The president told me that's what the law says, and that's what this country needs. And his administration has been sticking to that, saying that they have the authority under the Alien Enemies Act.
All right, White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, thank you.